Hello everyone, this is Raven's Map. Welcome for the summary for the day of 4th April to 4th May, sorry, 4th May 2023. So yeah, it's been a long time no see. But there is a lot of things that happened while I did not make any videos, and well, let's just see what happened. I will start with the ZAPOROZHIA frontline. There is a lot of happenings right now. So, as you perhaps saw, there has been a bombing of some cities by drones, by Russian drones targeting some like hangars, weapon ammunition depots, and things like that uh, in the whole area of Zaporozhye frontline. And most importantly, there has been troops coming in, like troops gathering in these areas and really advancing toward the front line. And most importantly, yesterday and today, there has been an attack from the Ukrainians south of Orechov. So in this city, they tried to launch an attack toward the Russians, but it failed apparently. And there's some geolocations. And basically, I see that some people think it's the part of the counteroffensive, but yes, technically it's a part of the counteroffensive, but it's not the counteroffensive. It's not the Zaporozhye counteroffensive. It's most likely an attempt to weaken the positions in this area, so that the Ukrainians will have easy time to just cross the fortifications, the Russian fortifications. They are trying to create a sort of weak point. And well, it failed because, as you can see in these geolocations, let me show you what happens. So you have this geolocation of burning Ukrainian vehicle, and there is another one here, but you can't really see it. You can see a bit the smoke here, and yeah, there is Ukrainian troops here. They are not dead. They are like crouching because they escaped. They're crouching here. Don't worry, they're not dead. And this is this view actually. If you like take some notices, yeah, it's this view. You have the tree lines here, and it's not the first time that there was a fight in this area. I remember like 1 month ago or something like this, the Ukrainians attacked in this area also, but it's been a long time since there was not a single fight in this area. And you have the second location. It's this view. Yeah, you see, you have burning Ukrainian vehicle, and the vehicle was attacked. Like it was exploded. It was transporting troops, and it was shot at by a rocket, like a missile, Russian missile or something like this. And another troop troop vehicle came to save the soldiers that escaped the first vehicle. So it's this view, as you can see. And now you have this whole area that I think honestly we'll start seeing some fights by the 9th of May, because I think Zelensky has to really bring some results. And after all of what happened recently, with the Kremlin being attacked by Ukrainian drones, but also all the bombing over Ukrainian cities and everything like this, and Bakhmut starting to fall, I really think, yeah, Zelensky will have to perhaps even like launch counteroffensive before the 9th of May. And honestly, he can do it because, as the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense said, they have prepared everything. Everything is ready for counteroffensive. So we can even expect the counteroffensive, the Ukrainian counteroffensive, to start perhaps this week. We'll see what happens. And you have a second geolocation here south of Gulaipole. I did not put the date, I forgot what the fuck. You see, I'm tired sometimes. Yeah, I think I geolocated like yesterday. You have this view. You have the train here, and apparently there was Ukrainian troops in this area. So yeah, it's this view as you can see. I don't think I changed anything. Let me see. Did I change anything on the map? Like set back the Russian map? No, there is no map change. Yeah. So and it's funny because yeah, in the 28th of April you had this geolocation. So it really shows that the Ukrainians are already being either they are moving in this area and digging some trenches. Either it's the Russians that are now perhaps just posting the videos of this front line because it's getting so hot and that there is too many footage that are filmed right now because yeah, everyone has its eyes focused on Zaporozhye front line. And then you have Vugledar or Ugledar or Vuledar, as you want to call it. There is a fucking big map change, yes. You remember, like, um, before. Let me show you because I really did not expect this shit. So you have this video of Ukrainian troops moving out from this area and they got shelled in this place. So what you see in the picture was that you can go back to compare. And if you remember the previous maps, I'm really laughing because I did not expect such a big change in a single geolocation. You had this. Yeah, that's a lot of land that honestly, it's not that surprising because it was like a long time ago that we did not have any shelling toward Boyavlenka. So if there was not shelling, no shelling toward here, that means that this territory was not Russian. But I had no confirmation. And now with the geolocation, I had the confirmation. And it's very interesting because today there has been another geolocation here. And it changes everything. Why? Because this one perhaps is just like just pure luck that we had a video of this place and it just allowed me to change. But we have a second footage, meaning that there is an attack, a real offensive in this place. And today, the 4th May, there has been like on Telegram. I saw on Telegram that there is currently Ukrainian assaulting Pavlovka and Nikolske. Sorry. You have this, and it's basically this view. Let me check once again. Yeah, you have the tree lines cutting here. It's this place, and let me show you just this. See the tree line here, discontinuated tree line. It's this one. Yeah, I know it's really hard to see, but it's this one. And yeah, apparently the Ukrainians are really trying to push out the Russians from Vugleda frontline by attacking from the flanks, the sides, attacking Pavlovka. But also, I heard that they are also attacking Nikolske or Mikilske. So yeah, perhaps they are trying to force the Russians out of this place by either moving back to Yegorivka or Volodymyrovka. So we'll see what happens, but it doesn't look very good for the Russians right now because I don't know if this all is recent push or not. Perhaps this territory was Ukrainian since a long time ago, and there is fighting now, and but it didn't change. Or perhaps really all this place was captured in like the last week, like in last days that came. And yeah, I think it's the preparations for the counteroffensive, just like for Orykhov. For Orykhov, they are attacking also to try to create some weak points to break the Russian defense lines, and they are doing the same here in Vuhledar, but perhaps they are more successful in this place. I don't know, we'll see. And you have also this location from the 29th of April. So yeah, it was the Russian Air Force that shot, like dropped some bombing in this place. Um, you have yeah, you have the big tower here. You see the shadow behind. Is the one you saw in this picture. This one. So honestly, it doesn't look very good like for the Russians right now because perhaps we are missing some informations, but I feel like the Russians don't have enough manpower here. They have the means, they have the artillery, they have the planes, they have the bombs, they have the missiles, they have the tanks, no problems. But they don't have enough men uh, compared to the Ukrainians to really create a barrier between them and the Ukrainians. They don't have enough peoples, and I know um, people are really underestimating the Ukrainians on this front, the Ukrainian counteroffensive. And trust me, I'm not even pro-Ukrainian at all, but I will tell you it's a really bad idea to think that Ukraine can't win this counteroffensive. I'm serious, because if you understand how the front line is, there is a wall, trenches of fortifications and things like that, all all along the Zaporozhye front line. But you have to understand that once the Ukrainians send enough soldiers there continuously, and they will manage to one day. Imagine if just one day they manage to pierce any of these fortifications and go past the first lines of fortifications. Well, they have some sort of free, like it's free for them. There is almost nothing behind that will stop them. There is just Tokmak that is heavily fortified, but beside Tokmak, then you see all this area like Kamyanka, Chernigovka, uh, Overelnie, Rasovka, Basan, everything like that. Every of these places is not that fortified, and this area, as you can see, there is no roads, no major roads here. So it can be a double-edged sword. It means that the Ukrainians don't have also a good place to like make an offensive. They don't have enough roads in this area to for themselves to do an offensive. But it also means that for the Russians here, for the Russians that are here, it's also hard to supply this front line. And yeah, I think this front line is a sort of perhaps a weak point. Perhaps not in this area near Velikaya Novoselka, but in these sites like Marinovka and well Vuhledar, you have these two sites that are very very weak, and I really think the Ukrainians will from Pokrovsk and Gulaipole launch some offensive in this area to yeah force the Russians in this place to move out of this. But it doesn't look good for Russia because despite all of the means they have right now, um, it's really a matter of how they will be able to hold the first attacks. If they manage to hold the first attacks, the first big assault, the, the big part of the offensive, then I believe they can manage to hold for the rest of the offensive and like destroy the Ukrainian forces. But if there is any part of the front line that is breached, it won't be very good, you know. I don't see how they can manage to pull this right now. But even for the Ukrainians, if they manage to penetrate Zaporozhia and capture all of Zaporozhia, Then what's next? They will have lost a lot of men. They will have still to fight all around Donetsk, Lugansk, Kherson, Crimea, all of these places. So for them, the fight is not over, and the problem is that Ukraine itself doesn't have a lot of ammunitions to hold a lot of fightings. They will already use a lot of their munitions, a lot of their well manpower, a lot of everything just for the offensive. So why? What will they have to fight after the offensive? Even if they manage to capture this place, what will be left for them? They will still have to fight, and I don't know how it will really save Ukraine right here because honestly, even if Ukraine captures all of these places, they will still be next to Russia, so they will constantly have border fightings. So I think this offensive will just buy some time for the Ukrainians, but not really save the Ukrainian army or the Ukrainian government, especially now that Bakhmut is almost fully captured. There has been a lot of advances in the previous ones, so I know it's a Zaporozhia update, but let me just show you. Yeah, they managed to capture these blocks and even these fortified places, and managed to cross the road and capture these areas. And honestly, looking at how the Russians are bombing the shit out of this place, I don't. Yeah, it won't be some place to hold very long again. But the Ukrainians are still managing to send a lot of troops in Bakhmut, and yeah, Zelensky is really doing all he can to send more enough troops in Bakhmut to keep the areas not under total Russian control, because he knows that as long as the Russians are fighting in Bakhmut, there is a huge, huge amount of ammunition, of troops, and of everything that are just for this small area, just small area. And if they manage to capture Bakhmut, then a lot of the troops, the ammunitions, the every all of these supplies can be like brought out of there and go to help Zaporozhia. So yeah, as long as Bakhmut holds, the Russians won't have enough manpower to really have all of their chances to hold the Ukrainians here. So yeah, it's 50-50 here. I'm serious, it's 50-50. Either the Ukrainians manage to pierce the first lines, either it's over for them. So we'll just see, and hopefully this war will be over soon enough, because no matter no matter who you support, we can all agree that it's a bit going too far right now, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't uh, spill over other countries like Belarusia or Prидnestrovia, Transnistria, because Ukrainians also like gathered troops around it, next to it, to perhaps invade and capture the town of what the fuck is it? Kolbasa or something like this. It's a small town, but that has the biggest weapon and ammunition storage of Europe, dating from the Soviet Union. So it will be a good reserve for the Ukrainians. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching this Zaporozhia update. See you for the next video. Bye bye.